right, third graders, today we are going to be looking at some tables that have information or data in them. And then we're going to be answering questions by looking up at that table. Okay, so the directions up here say, this table shows the number of tickets sold for the early and late showings of each movie at the Palace Theater last Saturday. Okay, so I can see over here I've got the early show and the late show, and it looks like they have three different movies, right? They have The Jungle Adventure, Hannah the Hero, and Space Race. And then I can look at these little squares, these are called cells, and I can see how many people went to that movie at that time. Okay? All right. So I think I'm not going to be helping like a ton on this because I think you guys can look up and get the information and do the problem. But we will do one together in each section. All right, so number 1 says, how many more already, the minute I see how many more tickets, that's a clue, were sold for the early showing of Jungle Adventure and Hannah the Hero than for Space Race. Okay, so they're comparing a couple of different things here. So you're going to need to use your white space around the paper so that I can see your work. So they want to know how many more tickets were sold for the early showing of Jungle Adventure and Hannah Hero than for Space Race. So I've got two problems that I need to do. I need to look at the early show, okay, for Jungle Adventure, right here, 72, and Hannah the Hero. Okay, so that's going to be my first equation, is to figure out how much that is together. So I'm going to do 109 plus 72. Any white space on your paper. And that's not going to be my final answer, but it's going to be a two-step problem. So I'm going to go ahead and add that up, and then they're going to compare that to Space Race to figure out the difference. Okay? All right, so let's add that one up. So I have 9 plus 2 is 11. 7 plus 0 plus 1, 8, and 1. So I have 181 tickets for those two. Now I need to look at Space Race, and I need to subtract, okay? I'm looking at Space Race, which is 143, and I need to figure out the difference. So when I'm figuring out the difference, I'm subtracting. So I'm going to put my big number on top, 181, to take away 143 to get my final answer for my problem, which I will then put down here and label tickets. So you're going to finish that one up, okay? Number 2 says, how many tickets were sold for the late showing of all three movies? Fun. So I'm going to look at the late show, and I'm going to add 126, 251, and 167. Okay, so I can do that anywhere on my paper. I think I'm going to do it over here. Actually, I'm going to do it down here because we've got a little more room. So I'm going to go ahead and add up. Doesn't matter when we're doing plus what order we put the numbers in, does it? 126 plus 251 plus 167. Fun. 3 numbers to add up, okay? And then you are going to put your number on the line and tickets. So you're going to do that on your own as well, okay? So if you want to pause the video right now, finish up those things, and then start it again. All right, on the bottom section it says, this table shows the number of pizza, pasta, and salad ordered at Luigi's Pizza last Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay, you can see those right down here. And we have 3 choices. We've got pizza, pasta, and salads. And then they're going to tell you how much was sold on each day. So I'm going to look into the cell. Remember that little square is called a cell. Okay, now here's the fun part. you actually get to write a question. So you could say, how much pizza and pasta were sold on Tuesday? And then you're going to answer your question that you made. Okay, so you're going to write it down here. You can pick whatever you want. Pick your favorite foods. Maybe you want to say how much pizza, pasta, and salads were sold on Thursday. Then you'd get to add up 3 numbers, right? So you're going to write it, and it's probably going to start with how. So how much, and then you're going to put whatever things you want to choose, which foods you want, okay? So it's going to start with how much, and it's going to end in a question mark. But you want to make sure you say which day. So let's say you want to pick Wednesday, okay? You could say how much pizza and pasta were sold on Wednesday, okay? And your question is going to end with a question mark, right? And then down here, you're going to answer your own question. So I should see a math problem over here adding up whatever your question was, okay? And then you're going to write it on this line, okay? Another one that you could do is you could say, how many salads were sold on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? And you could add up all the salads, okay? It's kind of fun. You get to make your own question. All right, and then meet me on the back side when you are ready. All right, here we are on the back side. And remember, when we're on the remembering side, it's things that you hopefully remember how to do, okay? All right. And they are saying that we can draw diagrams or number lines or whatever helps you, but I'm going to remind you how we do the cross multiplying because that works really well for these. All right, so we have a horse ate 2/4 of a bale of hay. A cow ate 2/3 of a bale of hay. Which animal ate more hay? So do you remember when we did the cross multiplying and we put our two numbers across from each other like this, and then there was a circle in the middle, right? Because we want to tell which one's bigger. And then do you remember when we did the cross in the middle and then we could figure out which side was bigger? Okay. So I'm going to go across and say 4 times 2 is 8. And then I'm going to go this way and I'm going to say 3 times 2 is 6. And then that tells you whichever number is bigger. So I know that 8 is bigger than 6. Then that tells me that 2/3 is the bigger fraction. Okay. So it says which animal ate more hay? Well, it was the 2/3 person, which means it was, who was it? The cow or the horse? It was the cow, wasn't it? So that's what you would have to write. But notice that I have to show my work over here. I can't just write down cow, okay? You have to show your work. And the reason that we did the cross multiplying is because our bottom numbers were different. And so we couldn't just compare them, right? Remember when the denominator, the number on the top is the numerator, the number on the bottom is the denominator, okay? That's what you call them in fractions. And sometimes when it's 2 fractions like 1/4 and 5/4 and the bottom numbers are the same, then all I have to do is look at the top number to see which one is bigger. But when the bottom numbers are different, I need to do it this way. Okay, so you're going to do that again on number 2. Write your stuff down on the side, okay? And then this is extra credit, and then you have just a couple of problems here that you can do on your own. I know you can. So you're going to do 3 and 4, and maybe you'll even do extra credit. All right. Super work, guys. We put our